As you are able, please rise. When they had come near Jerusalem and had reached Bethphage at the Mount of Olives, Jesus sent 2 disciples, saying to them,
"Go into the village ahead of you, and immediately you will find a donkey tied and a colt with her. Untie them and bring them to me."
The disciples went and did as Jesus had directed them. They brought the donkey and the colt and put their cloaks on them, and he sat on them. A very large crowd spread their cloaks on the road, and others cut branches from the trees and spread them on the road. Then those who went ahead of Jesus and those who were following him began shouting, "Hosanna! Save us! Help us! Free us!"
As you are able and inspired, shout out your own Hosanna prayer. Save us! Help us! Rescue us! Love us! Please, God, come, comfort us. Hosanna, Son of David.
Blessed be who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest heaven.
Hosanna, help us. Hosanna. You are welcome to join the children. If you feel inspired, follow the children. Come out of your pews, wave your palms. Hosanna!
Help us.
Hosanna! Hosanna in the highest! Help us! Rescue us! Save us! Save the animals! Save the earth! Hosanna! Hosanna in the highest! Blessings to all of you! Hosanna! One last shout together, Hosanna!
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 Please, hymn Hosanna loud, Hosanna, verse 1 and 2.
Jesus.
When Jesus entered Jerusalem, the whole city was in turmoil, asking, "Who is this?" The crowds were saying, "This is the prophet Jesus from Nazareth in Galilee." As Jesus came near and he saw the city, he wept over it, saying, "If you, even you, had only recognized this day the things that make for peace, but now they are hidden from your eyes."
Beloveds, as we move into this Holy Week, we remember that the peace of the empire, Pax Romana, sought to oppress and instill fear. But the peace that Jesus brings, Pax Christi, seeks the well-being and the wholeness of all creation. Peace for our bodies, peace for our souls, peace in our relationships, peace in our world. May the peace of Christ be with you all. And also with you. Let us take a moment to share this revolutionary peace with one another.
Amen.
Welcome, beloveds. Welcome to First Congregational Church of Alameda on this Palm Protest Passion Sunday. Today we are on a journey together towards God's kingdom, and we will see what that means with and for one another today. And part of that is our practice in how we welcome each other every Sunday, every time we gather, remembering the prophetic words that no matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. So let those words, that good news, sink into you, into any space that you need that blessing today, and let it flow out from this place into a world that is also in deep need of that kindness and care and compassion. Some announcements for today. First, just invite you to hold Reverend Laura in prayer. She is out sick today, which is always a hard time when it's Palm Sunday and Holy Week and you want to be here. So we just surround her in our healing thoughts and care and hope that she's getting lots of good, deep rest today. And thanks to all who have moved with the Spirit and are helping create worship. We all are who make worship possible. So thank you, beloveds. I want to welcome Jeannie Williams here for perhaps the first time. Hi, Jeannie. Welcome. Janine, my apologies. Janine, welcome. Grateful to have you here. Please make yourself at home. We are heading into Holy Week, so invite you to look at your bulletin for the various offerings that will be happening throughout this week, as well as on the website. Welcome to all of our beloveds worshiping online. Grateful to be in space with you. The insert in your bulletin has the information about Holy Week, so we will have a Monday, Thursday soup supper service here. It'll be a simple worship service at table together on Thursday night, and we have still a few needs of that. So one, a head count is helpful so we know how much food to provide. So if you haven't RSVP'd for the service yet, please do so online by Tuesday morning. That would be very helpful. We could use 1 or 2 more volunteers just to help with setup, and that would be to arrive at 5:45 before the worship service to help with that setup. So if you're available to do that, please let Lisa or I know or sign up. And if you have some other food that you would like to bring in addition, we have soup makers, but if you want to bring some other food, that is always welcome. So please sign up for that. We will be having a joint Good Friday service with about 10 other UCC congregations in the Bay Area. That'll be hosted at the Orinda Congregational Church. I'll be one of the reflectors in that worship service, but invite you, if you can make your way out to Orinda or join the live stream for that. That'll be a joint worship service on Good Friday. And then Easter Sunday, we will be here to celebrate the resurrection in all the many forms, including a youth group Easter bake sale to help our youth attend their service project this summer. We're looking to raise about $2,500, so your generosity would be greatly appreciated. So come and buy some wonderful treats from our youth members. You can bring stuff and then buy what you, yep. Yes. We'll receive all of your generosity. Yeah. You could just hand us money. I mean, yeah. Whatever, yeah. However you feel moved by the Spirit. Am I missing any announcements? All right. And with that, I want to invite any children or anyone feeling young at heart this morning to gather with me. So we have some posters here that folks made in Children's Church last week about social justice issues that they care about. And yesterday, some of us participated also in an interfaith pilgrimage for a ceasefire in Gaza. And some of our young folks, some of our many aged folks, participated in that. So first, also, thank you all for the incredible hospitality you offered here. But I wanted to we're going to hear some more testimonies from people who participated in that pilgrimage later in the service, but we wanted to begin by reflecting with one another on this Palm Sunday when Jesus and the disciples walked into Jerusalem protesting, calling out for help and for a new way, to remember why we also participate in those kinds of actions. So I just wanted to take time to reflect with all of you, because you all were a part of the pilgrimage with your families. And I wonder if you would be comfortable sharing why it was important to you to come yesterday and walk 2 miles through Alameda in community with other people. Does anybody want to share?
Maybe Odin has something to say.
Odin was one of our youngest pilgrims.
Maybe the youngest.
Well, I think we think all life is so precious, no matter where it is in the world, and that seeing what's happening to the babies and the children and everyone there, it's impossible not to do anything at this point. So we have to do something, and whatever we can do, we're going to try.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Odin.
Do you want?
So I can go ahead. I'm very loud.
Can we use the mic so folks worshiping online?
Okay, I can use the mic. Once again, it was that same feeling of feeling like we needed to do something. For our family, it was also really important for our children to also see many different faith communities. Kind of joining with people that they knew, like actually Xavier's kindergarten teacher did the full, or old kindergarten teacher did the full 22 miles from Berkeley all the way to here. And so just seeing the community getting together to basically stand up for the innocent. So.
Any of you, do you want to share? You can use the mic or not, but just a word about, or what your experience was like. Was there anything that surprised you or that you thought was really beautiful or interesting? Or have you ever participated in a pilgrimage or like that before? Yeah. What other kinds of protests or pilgrimages have you been in? That's okay if you don't remember. We're very grateful for your witness yesterday, for being there, for being a part of it. There were lots of children there from all over the Bay, which was wonderful.
I'll say something.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to feed back. We were doing the hospitality out front, and we thought everyone had passed by and gone to the Islamic Center and the Myelin school, and all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, here comes this stroller brigade. And there was probably about 12 strollers with all the kids. Yep, we're moving a little slower than everybody else, but it was so life-affirming. It was really beautiful.
Thank you for that reminder. It takes all of us, which is one of the things that really moved me yesterday, and it was very grateful to be with you in prayer in that way. So thank you all for your presence.
Thank you, Lacey, for helping organize it and leading the way.
So we will now go to Children's Church and continue these conversations in prayer, and Odin will perhaps lead the way because Odin has that power.
Then Jesus entered the temple and drove out all who were selling and buying in the temple. And he overturned the tables of the money changers and the seats of those who sold doves. Jesus said to them, "My house shall be called a house of prayer, but you are making it a den of robbers."
Just invite you to join me in a moment of prayer. Holy One, continue to move in and among and through this beloved community, that the words and meditations on each and every one of our hearts would be a blessing to you, would be a movement, a sign of your kingdom come here on earth. We pray this in all your many holy names. Amen. So the theme of today's Palm Sunday service is to fast from apathy and to embrace, protest, and lament. And I was thinking about this practice, and what came to my mind is how we are called as Christians to not go on with business as usual. If business as usual means that people are starving, if people are being displaced and houseless, if entire peoples are being erased from this world, that it is our call to show up in any way that we can, in every tactic possible, to stay present to the world, to feel with the world, and to truly believe that something else is possible. And that that's the journey that Jesus and the disciples were on this Palm Sunday when they were protesting, walking in the face of Roman occupation, when they were showing that a different kind of kingdom was possible, one that was of the people, one that understood power as love. They were modeling something else, and they were modeling that all along the way, on the pilgrimage that they were on. They were exploring different ways of healing and caring for one another and strangers that they met along the way, creating new kinds of communities. And on Maundy, Thursday, we will remember how they created a new world at table with one another, and how these practices can help this kingdom, get into our bodies and become a part of how we are in the world, and that we can keep building that together each and every day in small and big ways. And I think that's what this pilgrimage was looking to do yesterday, and why it is a global movement happening right now during Holy Week, with over 150 countries around the world, countries on every continent, have been participating in these interfaith pilgrimages that map the length of Gaza so that Gaza lives in us, and that we understand our lives to be connected with what is happening in Gaza, what is happening in Palestine this day, and work to make something else possible. And here in the Bay Area yesterday, over 1,000 people of over 40 different faith communities signed up to participate in this interfaith pilgrimage and walked together in prayer from the Berkeley shell mounds, connecting to the sacred lands and the people who have been tending these lands for centuries here, connecting those struggles of occupation and displacement and visions for justice, walking with all of that to here in Alameda, where we got to end by breaking fast with the Islamic Center here, and coming together as we saw with our children to create a different world and to know that our lives are connected to the lives in Gaza, to the wholeness of this world. My partner Sharon was walking with an elder in the community yesterday here in Alameda, and when she asked him, why are you here today? he shared with her the stories about how he was a survivor of the Japanese internment camps here in California, and how that meant he couldn't do anything else because he knows what it means to live through that kind of violence. And he shared with her how even before the last 6 months, how Gaza is an internment camp. And now that internment camp is being bombed. And that calls us as Christians and as people of all faiths to create a different world and to know, as so many people who live with the experience of crossing borders, who live with the experience of Holocaust in their generations, have said, never again for anyone, and never again is now. And that is the prayer that people were walking with in their bodies. So I want to take a moment on this Palm Sunday to invite anybody who was a part of the pilgrimage yesterday. There were lots of different ways to participate. You didn't have to just, walking is not the only way. Feeding one another, praying with one another, there are lots of different ways to show up. So if you were a part of the pilgrimage and want to come forward just to share a sentence or two about what compelled you to be a part of it, we'll let this be our Palm Sunday testimonies today to help guide us along our way and our callings. Is there anybody who wants to share?
I apologize for the emotion. It's overwhelming, but it's sincere. And I work at the Jewish home. And when I moved here to San Francisco 4 months ago, I thought, finally, I'll be in a place where I feel free and accepted and can speak my mind and work and live for acceptance. And in my daily activities, I'm censored. And I'm sure you know, Berkeley, Harvard, all kinds of places, professors aren't allowed to speak. And so I ask for everybody's prayers for those who still feel censored in our nation, in our country. And I believe in the power of prayer. I believe in the power of pilgrimage. So yesterday was so powerful. And my hope is that in the future, we can include more from these environments where somehow we still feel like we can't speak freely.
Thank you. Andrew, you can just come up and I'll hand you the mic later if you want.
Well, I deliberated way too long about whether or not to be part of it in any way. I watched the training video and felt more and more overwhelmed. But in any case, I decided what I could do is come and help serve the water and show them where the bathrooms were at our corner. And so I really am so glad I came because I left, I guess, feeling more connected. But it's just going to be water and bathroom. Well, then it was water, apples, and bathroom. Then it was water, apple, lemon cakes and bathroom. Then it was water, bathroom, apples, lemon cakes, and dates. And then once the people began streaming by, and they were so grateful, and it felt so nice to show them this beautiful church. But when the last one had left, there were everything I'd already mentioned and a whole bunch of bagels that I guess.
Thank you, Helen.
So I participated by helping out at the stop here at the church, helping with handing out food, drinks, things like that. Part of why this is so important to me, and I'll try not to get too emotional and personal with it, is in 2020, I had a family member pass away who was only 17. Her passion was social justice, and she did things such as go to Africa. She went to Puerto Rico after flooding and hurricanes, and she did lots of things around that kind of topic. And I feel that there are many people in not only my family, but in other people's families that would want them to do this, that would be proud of them for participating in this. And it's something that I honestly even saw even more when people came to our stop. The rain stopped, and there were rainbows, and it was very beautiful for me and my family. So that's why I felt it was very important.
Thank you, Andy.
The final stop on the pilgrimage at the Maya Lin School was the participating in breaking of the fast with the imam and the Islamic community there. And he remarked that here we all are enjoying a safe space and water and food to break the fast in. And those basic human needs are not being fulfilled right now in Gaza. And all that we could collectively do in that space was to shout and feel our collective hosanna, and to feel the solidarity in standing up for life. That is why I was there.
Thank you, Eric. Yeah, I agree.
Thank you guys for allowing me to come to the church, especially documenting and stuff. Gaza it hurts very, very much to me because I was a kid from the foster system and torture and evil and sin that's out there, and to not think of that as a direction to hate the young generation that comes up, regardless of what race, ethnicity,